Nice, huh? If you're like me, you look forward to getting away every now and then, putting some distance between yourself and the everyday routine of life. Where you choose to go is all a matter of mood. But there's one thing everyone looks for when they're on the road: getting the best performance from their tires. To do that, you need to know why certain tires perform the way they do. For the next few minutes, we're going to compare some popular tire styles, and we're going to see how subjective tire performance can be. And we'll show you how your driving and maintenance habits can affect the life of your treads. There's so much to know about tires, but don't feel overwhelmed. We're going to present some easy-to-remember tips, and we'll even review different tire terms at various points in our little journey. So let's go for a ride. When you're on the road like this, you're looking at the world as it passes around you. What you don't see are your tires at work. But if you could look inside them, you'd have X-ray vision. And you'd see that bias ply tires have at least 4 layers of crisscross body plies in the carcass from bead to bead. Available in many sizes, these tires provide a firm body that's satisfactory at moderate speeds and resistant to curb scrapes. Technoid. Bead refers to the bundles of steel wire that are tied to the plies and anchor the tire to the rim. Plies are layers of rubber-coated parallel cords in the tire carcass. They make the tire durable. For higher speed driving and hard turning, bias belted tires are preferred. They feature the crisscross body plies with something else: 2 circumferential belts under the tread for longer wear and greater stability, with less tendency to squirm on the road. And in radial tires, the body cords run in a radial pattern from bead to bead, rather than crisscrossing. This design provides flexible sidewalls that cushion road shock. So what's all this mean? It means no man is an island. Surprises happen, and hey, every tire's a little bit different. You have to weigh the advantages and recognize those subtle or not so subtle differences. The radial tire is a popular choice for basic highway driving. Its composition and tread design provide responsive handling. The sturdy belts give it added resistance to punctures, and because a radial tire typically runs cooler, it offers relatively longer tread life. On paved roads, steel-belted radial tires make good contact, reducing rolling resistance and increasing your car's mileage performance. But rugged surfaces and trails are the domain of bias and bias-belted tires. Why? Because they offer greater sidewall strength, and the tread conforms to the bumps, rocks, and ruts of an off-road environment. The bias also gives you more off-road load-carrying capacity than the steel-belted radial. If your vehicle does a considerable amount of towing, this might be a deciding factor. Technoid. Bias belted refers to a bias ply tire with belts that usually run at a 25-degree angle from shoulder to shoulder. Bias ply construction features ply cords at diagonal 36-degree angles. Radial ply construction features cords that run radially from bead to bead at 90 degrees to the center line of the tire. This provides a compliant ride with good handling. Bias belted tires deliver many features that offer the best of both worlds. They provide most of the highway characteristics of the radial, such as improved performance, tread puncture resistance, and better road handling. Plus, they give you added off-road strength with the tread and sidewall durability of the bias tire. Sidewall is the area between the tread and the bead. Shoulder describes the outer edges of the tread. Now maybe you're the kind of driver who wants to take tire strength and off-road performance that extra mile. That's where you might want to consider tires with side biters. Not only do the side biters improve sidewall strength and provide greater resistance to cuts and punctures, but they also give you extra traction in mud, sand, snow, or loose surfaces by gripping harder into that surface. This helps to pull the vehicle along in places where the road is less than hospitable. On soft surfaces, the side biter gives you better traction, especially when aired down to increase its already substantial tread surface. Tire design extends to more than the tread pattern and the composition. Another factor is the size and width. There are distinctive performance capabilities for different tire sizes. Technoid. Tread is that part of the tire that contacts the road. Ribs are the tread sections that run circumferentially around the tire. How about the big fella, the wide tire? It really proves its worth on surfaces such as sand or snow. Traction is excellent in these conditions, especially with lower tire pressure that spreads the weight of the vehicle over a wider or longer tread surface. The heavier the vehicle, the greater the need to get more rubber on the ground to avoid sinking. You can accomplish this by letting the air out a bit more, but hey, take it easy. The lower you go, the hotter you run. Exercise caution, especially with tires of 16.5-inch diameters or less. At pressures below 20 pounds, they may be prone to come off the rim. Flotation tires are designed with a wider footprint to distribute a vehicle's load over a greater area. This results in less tendency to sink in soft terrain. Footprint refers to the track left on the ground by a tire. A narrow tire with increased pressure handles the wet, hard surface roads more easily. This type of tire produces higher contact pressure on the road and lessens the possibility of hydroplaning. Changing from a more narrow tire to a wider design is popular with many of today's drivers. But it's not a simple matter of merely changing out tires with minor fender well extensions or a basic body lift. Larger tires travel farther for each revolution. The axles often need to be re-geared. The change in the tire size can also affect the U-joint, the shocks, and can actually throw the entire steering geometry out of whack, not to mention the speedometer. So before making a substantial change, discuss the possible effects with a mechanic or a tire expert. Go for the larger tires if you want them, but make the right adjustments to avoid major problems later. And if certain tires are just not feasible for the car or truck you own, don't force them to work. Sometimes you simply can't modify. The different tire sizes also run on different pressures. Most drivers have a tendency to overinflate. Under normal conditions, you should never exceed the maximum PSI rating. And that's what those numbers on the side of your tire represent, maximums. A good rule of thumb is to inflate tires 70 to 75% of recommended pressure maximums. Then increase or decrease air pressures in 5-pound increments until desired results are achieved. If you're not sure, contact your tire dealer or manufacturer. There's a way to test your tire pressure that's simple and fairly reliable. All it takes is a piece of chalk. You just run a line of chalk across the tread surface. And then drive your vehicle 40 to 60 feet or so. Now get out and inspect the tire by examining the wear of the chalk. This looks good. If you have too much air, the chalk will be worn in the center. Too little air, and it'll be worn on the tire shoulders. Ideally, The chalk should wear evenly from shoulder to shoulder. For the best air pressure results, know your own specific tire uses. Do you do a lot of towing? You spend a lot of time riding the trails. Or maybe you're a long-distance highway driver. Different uses, different pressures. Tech noise, load range, describes the maximum load a tire is designed to carry at a given inflation pressure. Section width refers to the distance between the exteriors of an inflated tire's sidewalls. Tires are only as good as the care they receive. A lot of things can affect them. Usually there are warning signs with the tread when something is wrong. Tire and wheel balance problems, for instance, may show up as bald spots on the tire. But tires should not be blamed for imbalance or wear if they're mounted on poor quality or out of round wheels. Excessive wear on one side can mean an incorrect camber adjustment. Feathered edges is usually symptomatic of a toe-in or toe-out problem. Bad shocks, ball joints, tie rods, bearings, caster, and misalignment can all cause your tires to wear prematurely. And don't forget, rotation, rotation, rotation. Properly rotated tires are longer lasting tires. Maximum performance. It's what we're all looking for. And that means doing periodic inspections, making proper adjustments, driving intelligently, and using common sense. And hey, have tires will travel. So get out and enjoy. Experience the rhythm of the road. While we've been talking and you've been listening, you've heard a lot of tire terminology. Now let's see what a few more of those terms actually mean by taking a short final trip through the glossary. Felt is the special cord fabric cushion between the tire tread and the cord body. It helps reduce the road shock effect. Breaker describes the cord fabric cushion usually located between the tire tread and cord body. It reduces the road shock effect on the tire carcass and decreases tread squirm. Tread depth is the distance in 30/2 of an inch from the tread surface to the bottom of the grooves in a tire. Tread wear indicators are the bars of rubber molded across the bottom of the tread grooves. Once the tread wears down to these bars, it's time to replace the tire. Selecting a tire can often be confusing because of all the different numbers and terminologies. So it's probably helpful to know the following prefix letters regarding tire sizes and designations. The letter P identifies a tire primarily used for passenger vehicles. The letters LT identify a light truck tire. The letters AT signify a tire intended for use on all-terrain vehicles. Other numbers and letters on tires refer to things such as the tire's load carrying capacity, its diameter, or even its speed category. So there you have it, a short primer on tires. Hope it's been helpful, and look for an upcoming companion video on wheels, how to select them, and how to get maximum value and enjoyment from the wheels that you choose. Until then, happy trails.